A gun pointed at his head, security frozen in fear. Jack Doherty learned the hard way that some lines shouldn't be crossed. From getting shot on camera to having his entire crew taken hostage, here are 7 times YouTubers discovered that real life isn't the same as their staged pranks. The thing about real gangsters, they don't care about your subscriber count, they don't care about your views, and they definitely don't care about your content. These creators found out the hard way that when you push the wrong people, there's no yelling, it's just a prank, bro. What you're about to watch isn't your typical YouTube drama. These are the moments that changed lives forever. Some creators walked away with scars, others didn't walk away at all. But before we get into these shocking encounters, you need to understand something. This isn't about clout. This isn't about views. This is about what happens when the fake tough guy act meets real consequences. Our first creator thought he was untouchable. He had millions of views, a team of security guards, and the confidence that comes with never facing real danger. But one December afternoon, a simple prank would leave him fighting for his life in the emergency room. Tanner Cook built his entire career pushing people to their limits. His YouTube channel, Classified Goons, racked up millions of views filming strangers' reactions to his aggressive pranks. But on April 2nd, 2023, he picked the wrong target. Walking through a Virginia mall with his camera rolling, Tanner approached Alan Coley, getting uncomfortably close and refusing to back away. When Coley asked to be left alone, Tanner kept pushing. What happened next would be caught on camera, sending shockwaves through the YouTube community. A single gunshot echoed through the mall. Tanner dropped to the ground, a bullet lodged in his chest. His cameraman, frozen in shock, kept filming as security rushed to the scene. But here's the crazy part. Even after nearly losing his life, Tanner showed zero remorse. In his first interview after leaving the hospital, he made it clear he had learned nothing from the experience. While Tanner survived his encounter, other creators wouldn't be so lucky. Just when you think getting shot would be the worst outcome of pushing strangers too far, wait until you see what happened when Jack Doherty decided to mess with the Island Boys. His security team would learn that sometimes having backup doesn't matter. Jack Doherty thought having security meant he was untouchable, fresh off antagonizing strangers.
Watch your language, there's kids around here.
I didn't say any curse words. What'd I say?
Just watch your language.
What'd I say?
You got a stupid shirt on over there.
Yeah. Your kids can't read, though.
What are you talking about?
Your kids can't read, can they?
I'm sure your kids watch.
Get away from me.
You started talking to me, buddy.
Get away from me.
You get away from me. Watch your kids. Go walk away.
You got something to say, you motherfucker?
McKinley, back up.
What the fuck's your problem?
And ruining relationships for views, he showed up at the Island Boys' house thinking it would be just another day of content. He couldn't have been more wrong. See, Jack had a history of hiding behind his security team. Whether it was harassing strangers at malls, starting fights at parties, or disrespecting other creators, his bodyguards always cleaned up his mess. But the Island Boys weren't like his usual targets. At first, Jack tried playing it cool, but his usual cocky attitude quickly disappeared when Kodiak Red had enough of his disrespect. The tension in the room shifted. Even Jack's security team could feel something was different this time.
All right, ready? Let's run this.
Bro,
let's test.
I'm not doing nothing with you.
Bro, why are you being a baby? He's rage quitting.
You're not respecting the GOAT.
Ooh, hey, stop. Yo, what the fuck?
Jack made the mistake of bringing up Red's girlfriend. In the streaming world, that might get you some views, but in the real world, that's the kind of disrespect that gets you hurt. Red's warning was clear. This wasn't about content anymore. That's when everything changed. Red disappeared upstairs, returning moments later with something that made Jack's entire security team freeze. The gun in Red's hand wasn't a prop, and this wasn't a YouTube prank. This was real life, and Jack had finally pushed too far. For once, Jack had nothing to say. No witty comebacks, no tough guy act, just pure fear as he and his crew backed out of the house. His security team, usually quick to jump in, stood paralyzed. They knew this wasn't like the staged confrontations they were used to handling.
Yo, chill. What the fuck? Don't talk to him. He's a gun. Yo, he's tripping. Yo, what the f? He has a gun. Yo, go.
The incident changed Jack, at least temporarily. For weeks after, his content was different, quieter, less confrontational. He'd learned what happens when you mistake real gangsters for content creators, but some lessons come at an even higher price, as our next creator would discover. Timothy Wilkes was just 20 years old when he decided to chase YouTube fame. Inspired by other pranksters going viral, he thought he had the perfect idea for his first video: pretend to rob strangers while filming their reactions. He never imagined it would cost him his life. On a cold February night in 2021, Timothy and a friend approached a group of people outside Urban Air Trampoline Park in Nashville. Wearing dark clothes and masks, they charged at the group wielding butcher knives. It wasn't supposed to be real, just another YouTube prank. But among the group was David Starnes Jr., a legal gun owner with a concealed carry permit. Seeing two masked men running at him with knives, he made a split-second decision to defend himself and the people around him. One shot was all it took. Timothy fell to the ground as his friends screamed that it was just a prank. But it was too late. The aspiring YouTuber was pronounced dead at the scene, his first video becoming his last. The district attorney ruled it self-defense. No charges were filed. Timothy's story became a tragic warning about the real-world consequences of pushing strangers too far for content. But some creators still didn't get the message. Our next YouTuber thought his wealth made him untouchable, until a group of angry investors decided to teach him a lesson he'd never forget. Aiden Plater called himself the Crypto King. At just 23 years old, he flaunted his $40 million empire on social media. Private jets, luxury cars, designer clothes. But behind the flexing was a massive Ponzi scheme that was about to catch up with him. In December 2023, Aiden's perfect life came crashing down. 5 men, including one of his angry investors, decided they weren't going to wait for the legal system to handle things. They had other plans for the fake crypto millionaire. For 3 days, Aiden disappeared. No social media posts, no luxury car stories. Instead, he was being beaten and tortured by people who'd lost everything investing in his scheme. His kidnappers had one simple message: pay up or else. When they finally let him go, Aiden was a changed man. The cocky crypto influencer was gone, replaced by someone who'd learned the hard way that real gangsters don't care about your follower count. But here's the crazy part. While his kidnappers were arrested and charged, Aiden walked free. The scammer who started it all faced no consequences, at least not from the law. But if you think that's wild, wait until you see what happened when this next creator thought he could take on a professional fighter. Sneako built his entire brand on being untouchable. His controversial takes and aggressive personality made him millions. But in February 2024, he picked a fight with the wrong person, UFC champion Sean Strickland. What started as online beef quickly escalated when Sneako showed up at Strickland's gym. The streamer thought his boxing training would be enough. He thought wrong. What happened next wasn't just a reality check. It was a complete destruction caught on camera. Strickland didn't just beat Sneako, he humiliated him. Going from 10% power to 50%, the UFC champion showed the streamer exactly what real fighting looks like. No editing, no cuts, just pure domination. The internet celebrated. Finally, someone had checked Sneako's ego, but despite getting destroyed, Sneako still had the confidence to step in the ring. The same couldn't be said for our next creator, who talked tough online until a real confrontation left him running for his life. But here's what makes this story even crazier. This wouldn't be Sneako's last reality check. Just months later, his aggressive behavior would land him in even more trouble. But first, let's talk about what happened when Jerka decided to mess with the wrong crowd. Jerka thought being banned from Twitch made him untouchable. He'd built his brand attacking other creators, spreading conspiracy theories, and starting beef with anyone who'd give him attention. But when he decided to take his tough talk to the streets, reality hit hard. After weeks of harassing HS TikTok online and threatening to fight him in person, Jerka finally got his wish. But showing up to confront someone in real life turned out very different from talking trash behind a keyboard. The self-proclaimed tough guy couldn't even keep his pants up during the confrontation. His attempt at intimidation turned into a comedy show, with the only thing getting hurt being his ego. But at least he walked away. Our final creator's meltdown would end much worse, because while Jerka's embarrassment only cost him his dignity, Fauci's attempt to prove himself would lead to one of the most dangerous public meltdowns in streaming history.
Andrew Tate is a homosexual.
Stop it.
If you fought Tate,
Let's do
do you
it.
think you win?
No.
If
Listen,
you versus Tate, how many rounds?
I would
Knockout.
up that bald midget.
How many rounds?
I want to fight
I'm
you.
taller, I'm stronger,
For
and
real.
he's bald. These guys are pathetic, low life, no genuine burning desire from any of their women, bald losers.
From threatening police officers to climbing buildings, what happened next would prove that sometimes the biggest threat to a creator isn't external, it's their own ego pushing them over the edge. Fauci's downward spiral started with a simple boxing match, but when his opponent pulled out, something in the streamer's mind snapped. What followed was 72 hours of increasingly dangerous behavior that had viewers watching in horror as he lost touch with reality. It started with him harassing people on the street, then escalated to confronting police officers. But things took an even darker turn when Fauci decided to climb a building in Hollywood, threatening to jump while streaming live to thousands. Police had to shut down entire streets. Fellow streamers tried calling him, begging him to come down, but Fauci was too far gone, screaming about how he was protected by God while Satan had zero power over him. The incident ended with Fauci being taken away in handcuffs, not by police, but by medical professionals. His platform Kick banned him for life.
Okay, Nadim. Sorry. Listen to me, Nadim. I have all his stuff. Take a picture, dog. Okay, they're taking him now.
His tough guy persona had finally pushed him past the breaking point, but the scariest part, this wasn't even his first meltdown. Just months earlier, Fauci had another public breakdown, getting into physical altercations with random strangers and challenging police officers to fights. His behavior became so erratic that even his closest friends couldn't reach him. The pattern was always the same. Fauci would act untouchable, push people to their limits, and then spiral when reality didn't match his delusions. Each incident got more dangerous than the last, until finally the streaming world had to cut him off completely. These 7 creators all learned the same lesson in different ways, whether it's a bullet to the chest, a professional fighter's reality check, or your own demons catching up with you. The tough guy act only works until it doesn't. In the real world, actions have consequences, and sometimes those consequences can be deadly. The next time you see a creator acting untouchable, remember these stories, because while content might be temporary, the scars these YouTubers earn trying to prove themselves, those last forever. If you thought these moments were shocking, wait until you see what happens in this next video. The clips you're about to watch will leave you speechless.